today we're going to be sharing our favorite things to do in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Hey, this is John and Amy with TPF, Trips, Places, and Fun, where we talk about cruise news, vacation news, travel news, breaking news, and Branson, Missouri news, because this is our home base.
Branson, Missouri is our home base. And hey, there's a lot of similarities to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge.
There's also a lot of differences. I had this conversation online just the other day.
Yeah.
There's differences, there's similarities, but we love both places.
We love both places, so you have to go to both eventually. Yeah. But today we're going to be sharing our favorite things, and we know they may not be your favorite things. So if you have favorite things to do in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
But today we'll share ours with you.
Right. There's a bunch. Get started. Let's go.
Okay. So first, we love Dollywood. You're going to have to mention that if you go to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, you just are going to love Dollywood, right?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And Dollywood is in some ways similar to Silver Dollar City here in Branson, owned by the same wonderful people. And you're going to have all sorts of incredible rides and shows and food. Amazing.
In fact, we just went to Dollywood the last day of the season, January 2nd, I think it was. And boy, we had a great time. We did a video on that where we compared and contrasted Dollywood and Silver Dollar City.
Right, yeah.
And boy, what a wonderful day that was.
Super cool. And well, you rode a roller coaster there kind of at the end of the day that was fun with fire and all sorts of great things, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's just a great time.
Right, yeah. So Dollywood, gotta go.
Okay, the other thing that you must do if you are in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area is Cades Cove. Oh my goodness, I think this might be my favorite thing I've done there.
Yeah, we did. Hey, Amy, I'm gonna move you over. See there?
Ooh. Oh, there goes my microphone though.
No, you can bring it with you.
Okay, I'll bring it with you.
There it is. So we took our scooters to Cades Cove, huh?
We did, and we were able to do the whole loop on our scooters, and we would pull off and see all the historic buildings and see the old cemeteries, and it was just amazing. It was an amazing day, an amazing time. I think Cades Cove is incredible.
And Cades Cove is a lot of people's favorite thing to do in that area, Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, and I can see why.
You can go hiking and the old buildings, the old churches. That was really interesting to me.
Yeah. Oh, you could hike for days and never see all of it. So it was an amazing experience.
If you do end up hiking for days, you might be lost. So just
well,
so
I mean, you take a few hours one day and then a few hours the next day. All right, moving on. The island. Yeah. So who loves the island? This is a whole lot of fun. I love the island too. And, you know, they have the fountains there in the middle where you can watch those. They have that carousel. They have a Ferris wheel.
They have a brand new ride.
The sky ride?
Yeah, they call it the fly ride here in Branson. It's like soaring at Epcot.
Yeah.
But
I think it's the sky ride.
Something like that.
So we have not had the chance to ride that yet, but we've heard all about it. It seems pretty similar to what we have here in Branson, and it seems like a whole lot of fun. But the island is so much fun, so much shopping, so much entertainment, so food. You know, you can do a lot there. So it's not just your retail shops. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys haven't been to the island, you definitely have to do that.
Gotta go.
And of course, Gatlinburg shopping. Speaking of shopping, you can spend a whole day walking around Gatlinburg. In fact, we got to do that in the snow when we were there our last trip. It had just snowed, and boy, Gatlinburg was gorgeous.
Oh my goodness. Of course, I'm going to show you some pictures.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Video. It was stunning, and it was this big, gigantic dump of snow. And the night before when we got there, got to our resort, and there was mini golf, and we're talking to the kids about playing mini golf the next day.
We did not have the opportunity to do that, but we got some amazing pictures and boy, some great views of Gatlinburg in the snow. And there's tons of great shops there. Also tons of great attractions there, things to eat. So you can just spend a whole day kind of wandering up and down that main drag in Gatlinburg and just seeing what there is to see.
And that's one thing that I really like about Gatlinburg and the Pigeon Forge area compared to Branson, that there is that Gatlinburg type area where there's lots of stores,
and it's
lots
all
of
walkable.
shops,
it's
restaurants.
all kind of compact there, and you can walk it. And so that's a really cool thing to do. And down there also in Gatlinburg is the Ripleys Aquarium of the Smokies.
It's great.
And that
really
is
good.
a great aquarium. So much fun. I think my favorite thing is when you go under that dome and you're seeing everything like swim over you and you're like all encompassed.
I saw something on, we do travel news and things, so I'm looking at travel stuff all the time. I saw this underwater restaurant. I don't know where it was, Maldives or somewhere, but underwater in the ocean. And there you see sharks, like you're really under the water. It's not an aquarium, it's in the ocean. How cool
that would be maybe a little intimidating or scary, but so yeah, the aquarium is super fun there in Gatlinburg, so check that out. How about the Alcatraz Museum?
Now that was surprising. I found it sounded cool, but you never know what you're going to get into.
That's over there by the island, right?
You kind of, it's by the island. You kind of wonder some of these attractions, is it going to be cool, not cool? It was really cool.
It was very interesting.
Very well done.
Now I would say it's geared toward a little bit older audience. There was a lot of information, a lot to read, and then of course exhibits that you could kind of went along with all the information. Right. So it was kind of a little bit sobering, but it was very, very interesting and very, very well done. Yeah. So if you have, maybe some people in your life or in your group that enjoy true crime and, are interested in that sort of thing, this is a great place to go.
And it's not really much about Alcatraz itself. It's mostly about crime in general, right?
Right. So you're looking at all sorts of, real crime, stories that happened and stuff like that. And so you'll be examining all of that, not just Alcatraz. So,
right.
All right.
Hey, how about, we went indoor snow tubing. Well, you and I didn't. We watched, but the kids did.
They loved it. I think they call this Pigeon Forge Snow. And this was such a great time. And it's indoors. So whether it's super hot outside or super cold outside, you can it's always going to be kind of the same temperature. And they make their own snow. It's real snow, but it's indoors. And so you get your tube and you pull it all the way up to the top, and then you get to go down. And so you pay for, like what we did, we paid for an hour, and then they just go as many times as you can an hour. I think our kids were able to go 8 times in an hour, and they loved it. They thought it was a great time. They really, really enjoyed it.
And they have an area where you pay more and you can play in the snow.
Indoor snow play, which we didn't have to do because it had just snowed outside. And so our kids had played in the snow outside.
And we were throwing snowballs at each other already.
Right. So we didn't have to do that, but they definitely enjoyed that snow hill on the tubes, and what a great time.
And they also there's an outdoor one we saw. Also,
oh, we did over by the Local Go, which is a restaurant we'll talk about shortly, but they had one that was an outdoor one. Yeah. So another opportunity there.
Sure.
Okay, how about Wonderworks, the upside down house? Boy, this is so much fun. I think this might be the first time I ever went on a ropes course.
Oh, it was cool.
And I remember, you get hooked up in your harness and you go up there. I remember at first being so nervous to step off that first platform.
Because you don't know if you're going to live or die.
Right. And I think I actually turned around and went down and then talked myself into trying it again. And once I got the hang of it.
Whoa, I just got a message.
Yeah?
Wonderworks tagged us in a post, or tagged somebody in a post. It was weird. You know how you get messages on your computer, and I'm looking right here. We are literally talking.
Is this just a coincidence, or is Big Brother watching us?
No, for real. Yeah, I mean, a message just came across. I would try to find it, but it's gone now. But it said Wonderworks just tagged something, and I'm like, that's weird.
Whoa, that is really weird. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on.
They know what they're doing.
Anyway, but I talked myself into going back on the ropes course, and I loved it. Once I got the hang of it, I was just, during that tightrope walk, like super fast and jumping across all the little,
You're like Jane of the Jungle.
Yeah, I was. Oh. So what a good time we had there. And so many different things, STEM, right? They call it science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yep.
Anyway, it's a great time. So especially if you have kids that you have with you, they're going to love Wonderworks. So.
All right, what else we got? Now, of course, we got to say again, oh, wait, we need to jump in here real quick. Here's the sign that Ella made for us. And it's super easy to sub to TPF. All you do is click. You can do it right now. Let's take a moment of silence. Did they do it?
Thank you.
Oh, you guys are the best. Look at that. And yeah.
Ella's our daughter, by the way.
Oh yeah, she's our daughter.
She painted that for us.
And so you always get all the news and all the stuff coming to you. We're doing these a lot every single week. But yeah, so what are we going on to next?
So Magic Quest, we did this when we were in Pigeon Forge this last time. And so it's kind of like an interactive game of, I don't know, Lord of the Rings or something.
It's like
you're in Lord of the Rings.
A little bit of a role-playing kind of a thing where you're on a quest, you're on a mission, and you have to find things it's like a themed environment.
Yeah,
right?
So kind of like a scavenger hunt in this themed environment. They also had Blacklight Golf, which we got to do, which was super fun. They had an arcade, and so they have other stuff to do there in that complex. But for one price, we got all of it. So we were able to spend several hours there, and the kids had a really good time.
Yeah. All right, oh, here we go. Here's something else that we love doing. Escape rooms. Now here, I'll bring you back to this view. So this is our escape room here in Branson, Missouri. We own this. So anytime we're going somewhere else, we typically like to find escape rooms, and Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge have some great ones.
Oh yeah, we love escape games. We've played several hundred of them probably, and Gatlinburg has some of our favorites. You have the escape game there. You have Gatlin's. A couple others that we've played. And hey, we tried something else new this last time called Activate Games.
Yeah.
Now this isn't an escape room, but it was adjacent to an escape room, or maybe owned by an escape room. And this was really cool. It was very physical. Now much more physical than escape rooms are, where escape rooms are more on the mental side. Activate Games was more physical, but boy, they had like a floor is lava game that was so much fun.
The floor is like pressure sensitive, and it lights up in certain areas. You got to jump on certain colored squares depending on the game that you're playing. They also have like your basketball, but it's not just basketball. You have to shoot in the correct
and they have lasers, and they have rock climbing. But all these kind of games, interactive games, you can either do them like as a team activity or competitive. It was super fun.
And you go from
really
one
loved
to
it.
the next to the next. So they have, I don't know, 7 or 8 different rooms that you go in, different games. However, I don't know what the number is, but so you do one for 5 or 6 minutes, and then you leave, go to the next one. So you keep going to all these different games.
Right, and then you can play them as many times as we did an hour, and you could go back to the games as many times as you could in an hour. And our kids said it was one of the favorite things they did on our trip. So
me too.
Yes, it was a blast. All right, so let's get into talking about food, because when you go to Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge,
the last time you remember we went recently.
Yes.
I ate so much food that it took me up to the highest weight I've ever had in my life. So I'm not on an extreme diet right now.
But that's saying something about the food there in Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge. So we're going to start by mentioning 2 that are also kind of attractions.
Yeah.
And that's Hatfield and McCoy is one.
That's
and
so good.
Boy, what a great time that is. I mean, they are diving off of a diving board and jumping into the water.
And the water's on fire.
And there's dogs, and there's rain, like actual rain.
And singing and dancing.
And it is just a fun, good time. And a great meal.
The food was so good. The fried chicken and the mashed potatoes and corn on the cob.
And all the fixins.
And then at the end had banana pudding.
That is fun. And it's that experience. I don't know. Hatfields versus McCoy's. It's just so much fun.
We've been here twice.
Yes, we love it. And then Pirates Voyage. So here you've got now this is owned by Dolly Parton, does the Stampede, which we love too. But then we did Pirates Voyage there, last year. And
they also do Hatfield and McCoy. I mean, they were selling tickets for...
Right. They've now purchased Hatfield and McCoy, so the same company owns all of them. But Pirates Voyage, also you get a great, great meal, but you have that cool pirate show. So, they're doing all that cool pirate stuff. They got pirate ships, and they're jumping in the water also. And just really...
Why couldn't the pirate go to the movies?
Because it was rated R.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
He's a good, godly pirate.
So he wouldn't go to the
rated R.
Yeah. All right, and so now we'll talk about some other restaurants that aren't necessarily attractions, but just some really good food.
Super good.
So there's the Apple Farmhouse restaurant. Now this is a pretty cool complex.
Super cool.
Because not only do you have the restaurant where you get these amazing apple fritters and all these little extras with your meal, which is, we ate a really good meal there.
Yeah, we did.
But it's a whole complex. So you've got like a candy shop, and you've got, a gift shop, and you've got all these different shops kind of there in that same complex. And you can spend a couple hours just, looking at everything, and of course eating, which is amazing.
Go to eat, and then walk it off through the shops.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't eat any chocolate or anything in the shops.
Okay.
Because you're trying to walk it off, your big giant meal.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Old Mill Restaurant.
This
This
is
is
our
a
favorite.
classic. Yeah, we have eaten here all throughout the years going to Pigeon Forge, and it's just someplace we love to eat like every time. It's got your good kind of feel-good Southern cooking, I would say. And, everything you get there is great, and it's I don't know, my kids love it. We love it.
And the setting is really cool.
It's got
right
a cool
there
setting.
on the river.
Yeah, you got the river kind of running by, and so it's a great place to eat.
Yep.
Now, the Local Goat is a newer place.
That's newer to us at least, and it's super interesting from the outside, and the name Local Goat, we didn't think it to be a great place.
But then
the
it's
reviews
amazing. Oh my goodness,
amazing.
The food amazing. Hey, they do these fried deviled eggs. And you might
Wow.
think fried deviled eggs, oh my goodness, what is that like? That's kind of what they're famous for. And, you know, my kids who are even pretty picky enjoyed the fried deviled eggs.
Oh, they were so good.
So you got to go there, even if it's just for those fried deviled eggs. But they have lots and lots of great food. They have great burgers, you know, just everything. They have a shrimp and grits, right? And just all sorts of amazing food. So definitely check out.
And you need to get a
local.
reservation, and oftentimes you do. 'Cause
It's very busy.
You'll drive
It's
by that
very
parking
busy.
lot, and it's a massive
so
parking
full.
lot, jam-packed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Aunt Granny's. Now, you have to be in Dollywood to go to Aunt Granny's. But it is a super great restaurant. Hey, they're doing it family style.
Yeah,
And
all you can eat.
you come there with your family and you're going to choose, you know, two or three
Main
three
courses.
or four main courses, and then a bunch of sides, and then they'll bring it all to you. And when you want more, they bring you more. When you want more, they bring you more.
And more,
you
and even
can
more.
eat as much as you want. And hey, they have those great cheddar biscuits,
yeah.
which are amazing.
Now, you need to get a reservation there, too, if it's a busy day.
Definitely.
First
Right when you
thing.
get in Dollywood, go to Aunt Granny's and make your reservation.
Which I like the fact that you can make a reservation there. That's kind of nice.
Yeah,
'cause
it
you
is
have to
nice.
wait around.
Yeah, so definitely do that as soon as you get in to, I
Dollywood.
almost said Silver Dollar City. As soon as you get into Dollywood, go make your reservation at Aunt Granny's.
Now, in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, it sure seems like breakfast spots are all the rage.
Yes, now that's something we don't have quite as much here in Branson. We have a few good breakfast places, but like the Pancake Houses
All over.
in Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge are everywhere.
We went
so
to a
like
buffet.
Pancake House, yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow. And then I'll tell you, the best part of the whole thing, I got my pancakes, went through the buffet, got my pancakes, got a big scoop of butter and spread it all over my pancakes, then put syrup all over it. Then I went to eat it and I realized it wasn't butter. It was frosting. Wow.
Yes, so the Pancake Houses, you got to visit at least one Pancake House in your Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge. And hey, before we sign off, we just have to say that the main draw, I think, to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg is Smoky Mountain National Park.
course.
It's just an amazing national park. It's, I think, the top visited in the U.S. I think I think I've read that it might be the most visited.
Fact check us. This could be fake news. But maybe. I think you might be right.
Yeah, at least one of the top visited national parks in the whole country. So it's just a wonderful, beautiful national park. You can see bears there. In fact, we were there and we saw bears. And in fact, when we were staying at our vacation rental, you know, they have to keep everything locked down because the bears will just come and take it. So, but even if you go there just for Smoky Mountain National Park, you're going to love that.
Now, there are tons and tons and tons of things to do there in that area, Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, that we have not done. What have you done? You know, I'm thinking you can go tubing, zip lining. You know, they got these skyway, what do they call it, like ski lift type thing, Anakista, different places like that.
We've done one of those where we did the Sky Bridge and all that. So there's so much to do. And we tend to go a lot of times in the winter, so we're not always doing the summer stuff, you know, like the water parks and stuff like that maybe y'all are used to doing. So let us know what some of your favorites are, because these are just our favorites, but we know you have your favorites, so we'd love to hear those. And thanks for following along, and safe travels, everyone.
Safe travels.